Hey guys, welcome back to the Hess Project. I'm John Ordalaza, and I'm here finally. I'm so glad I get to talk about this film. One of my favorite films back in the day, and I mean like 2013, Man of Steel, directed by Zack Snyder. It was released in 2013. It was, in my opinion, it rivaled Avengers to me. That was the best Marvel superhero film of all time at the point, and this became my personal favorite DC film of all time. And it really did rival Avengers with me. Like, seeing Superman the way that we saw him in this film was special to me, and it always will be. I will cherish that moment growing up for years to come. And I'm so glad I finally get to talk about this film because there's so many great things about it. And I know throughout the years, it's been 7 years since this film has been released. There's been a lot of back and forth, split fan base, not just with Man of Steel, but with the entire DC universe, the Snyderverse, if you will. So I'm going to be reviewing not just Man of Steel, but I'm going to be giving my official thoughts for Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, and Justice League, that was ultimately directed by Joss Whedon back in 2017. Enjoy and revel in the DC content here on the Hess Project because we're going to start with Man of Steel. Right out of the gate, I love this movie. I really do enjoy this movie. Now, I don't remember exactly which ones I saw first, but I did go through a marathon of the Christopher Reeve Superman films. Like, I watched them all within 1 week when I first saw them. Superman, the movie, 2 with Zod, 3 with Richard Pryor, and then 4 with Nuclear Man. You know, you grow up and you develop your likes in films, and there were certain aspects of those 5 films that just didn't really satisfy the superhero bug that was itching all around me. I was like, yo, I need something dope, man. And then here comes Zack Snyder with his film, produced by Christopher Nolan. Now, I think that is a very important and key thing to remember with Man of Steel. It is heavily produced by Christopher Nolan. And if it turns out to be not, then like that's crazy to me because, dude, just the feel of this movie and just everything about it feels like it revolves and it's connected to the Dark Knight universe. It just feels like it belongs together. It's just the way everything looks, maybe a little bit of the color palette, and just the majority of the shots taken in this film, the majority of the cinematography, if you will, doesn't feel completely like Zack Snyder. There are definitely shots and certain scenes in this film that's Zack Snyder's wet dreams. The majority of this film is shot to feel like a Christopher Nolan film, in my opinion. There isn't a lot of Zack Snyder flavor into it. Of course, when you get into the whole themes of it being a little darker than Superman normally is, yes, but I'm just talking strictly off of cinematography. This is a very unique looking film. This is almost as if we got Christopher Nolan to direct a Superman film. And that's awesome. Like, this is the closest we'll ever get to that, and I'm so grateful for it. It's a nice, awesome blend between Snyder and Nolan for Superman. Like, that's awesome. If you don't agree with me on this, you're crazy. You're absolutely crazy. The score of this film is phenomenal. Second to none. I love this score. This was the first score that made me fall in love with looking up all of the original soundtracks for films, all of the scores for the films that I watch. Like, this was the first one that I really delve into. It was like, yo, this sounds really dope. I know Christopher Nolan loves to dip his hands and his toes into every single aspect of the film that he's working on, and I feel like he was there as well. I remember seeing special features for this, actually, where we saw Christopher Nolan, Zack Snyder, and Hans Zimmer all together. Like, they were all contributing to the soundtrack, and that's just really cool to see how much love was put into the sound alone for this film. The main theme to Zod's theme, the arcade song that's in the soundtrack, freaking phenomenal, dude. And God, it's just so good, man. I listened to this soundtrack multiple times growing up. It was one of my favorite soundtracks. It still is to this day. Hans Zimmer can do no wrong. This is probably one of his best, in my opinion. It honestly does eclipse the Dark Knight theme, in my opinion. I just gravitate towards Hans Zimmer's Man of Steel score more than Dark Knight. And I love Dark Knight. Dark Knight is amazing, but Man of Steel is just on another tier, dude. I love this score. This film introduces Henry Cavill to a wider audience. I know he's been in other films before, like Immortals. I've never seen it, but this is the first time I was exposed to him, and I thought he did a really great job playing Superman. He embodied the character in such a realistic way that we've never seen before. Yes, a lot of people have their gripes about the portrayal of Superman, and he's too dark. He physically looks too dark. I mean, his suit is very dark. This film, I think, takes an interesting, realistic take on what would we do if an alien who looks like us but is 15 billion times stronger than all of us, like, we're gonna act a certain way. I personally think this film depicts the military in a very great way, how they just want to monitor Superman. They want to make sure he's not a threat. Regardless of what you say about Zack Snyder, and he wants to make everything dark, I don't think his purpose was to intentionally make Superman dark. He was looking at it just like everyone else has their own opinions and has their own takes, has their own perspectives. Zack Snyder filmed his own perspective of Superman with Man of Steel, and I just can't help but think he did a phenomenal job. This is my favorite Zack Snyder film. The performances of Russell Crowe, Kevin Costner, and Diane Lane, freaking incredible. They're probably the best ones in the film, and I'm forgetting Kal-El's mother's actress's name. I don't know her name, but all four of them, they did a really great job as the parents in peril, especially Russell Crowe and his wife, having to give up their child like that. And then you see Diane Lane and Kevin Costner trying to raise this alien to become one with the human people. It's very tricky, and it's a challenging situation, and I love the challenges that we see young Clark Kent go through. When the whole bus goes into the river and he's deciding whether or not to save everyone and reveal himself as this strong being, which he does anyways, and then a few kids are just left scarred a little bit, wondering what the hell just happened. It's a really nice dynamic that we've never seen quite like this in a superhero film. We've always just seen, oh, they're keeping lies from their friends to protect them. And it's more to that. There's more than just, oh, I'm going to keep my identity from you. There's a responsibility that comes with that. Kevin Costner really brings it home with a lot of his dialogue in this film. He's so great. The relationship between Clark Kent and Lois Lane, played by Amy Adams, is interesting. I'll be honest, it's not my favorite. It's probably one of the weaker things of the film. I just don't buy into this romance. I mean, it's cute and all, but, at the end of the day, she did just kind of stumble upon this guy. She got herself cut. He cartilized the wound or whatever, and then she just, fell for him. It was a little too fast for me in a movie that's almost 2.5 hours long, but Amy Adams, nonetheless, did a great job in the role. She's not a bad actress. She's really good, especially in other films. I just don't think her character was used properly and to the best of their ability for this film. Lawrence Fishburne is in here, and he's only in here for a little bit, but I do appreciate when he's on screen. He has a tiny bit of a J. Jonah Jameson vibe in here. Of course, he's not J. Jonah Jameson. That is, and will forever be, the standard. But he still brought something interesting to the table. Michael Shannon as General freaking Zod. Freaking amazing. I loved Michael Shannon in this role. This is the first time I saw Michael Shannon, I believe. It might be. From his look to his betrayal, Michael Shannon as General Zod is probably my favorite character of this film. He's so good. When he's getting reprehended from taking over that council meeting in the beginning of the film, and he's handcuffed and he's about to get cryo-frozen. When he was handcuffed and he screamed, "I will find him!" That will forever give me chills every time I watch that. Because at that moment, Michael Shannon channels and embodies the most dangerous villain I've ever seen. The action in this film doesn't let up, guys. This is some of the most unique action I've seen in a superhero film. Yes, it's very heavily CGI'd, and some of it can be eye-catching, and I can notice some things, but, dude, it's still polished. It still looks really good. The fight between Superman and the lady Kryptonian and the big Kryptonian with the big suit, all on the streets of Smallville. God, that was incredible, dude. And that wasn't even the main fight. He fights Zod later after taking out the big world generator and everything, and the world generator destroys the entire city. I mean, destroys it. It's like your big brother stepping on your entire city of Legos. Destroyed. He demolishes that thing, and there was a lot of controversy that there's too much destruction in this film, and that was actually one of the part of the rating that they gave the film. You know, PG-13, violence, language, destruction, because there's a lot of it in this film. I've never seen that before. Getting a warning for destruction, that's awesome. And dude, it was just rubble. And when Zod got up on his knees, he gave a really dope monologue, gritted his teeth, and just charged at Superman. And they started brawling all across the destroyed city. Phenomenal, guys. They're just flying all across the buildings, beating the hell out of each other. It is some of the most intense action in a superhero film. I cannot stress that enough. Avengers was dope, and it was really awesome to see all those superheroes come together. Man of Steel was just something special to me. I'm going to end it here, guys, because I can talk about Man of Steel for a very long time. Leave your comments down below and let me know your favorite DC film. Hell, your favorite superhero film or action film. Just start a conversation down below. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new. And if you haven't already, hit that notify bell so you can stay up to date on all of the Hez Project videos. Be sure to stick around, guys, because there's more to come.